Good morning, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I thought I would talk a little bit about something that affects everyone. Yet, of course, I'd like to focus on healthcare providers. And if you had a chance to read my free download book, which I'll put as a link under this video, you know that I talk about the healthcare guru, which is really each of us, right? So if you've even read the introduction of that book, you know that I believe that each of us is a healthcare guru. And this is because our mannerisms, our energy, our words, our actions affect those around us and affect their health. So they affect whether it's family, friends, strangers on the street, anyone, right? So now I'd like to talk about one thing that often affects majority of people. And so if we're looking at ourselves as healthcare providers, because we are affecting all of the people around us with our energy, I thought today I would talk a little bit about peace because it's something that everyone loves peace, right? A peaceful mind, a peaceful life, a peaceful experience, right? And so this first quotation that I thought I'd share with you says, by simplifying your life, you could find that niche of inner peace that everyone longs to have. And this is by Julianne Neilson. And again, this quotation says, by simplifying your life, you could find that niche of inner peace that everyone longs to have. Now, what can take us away from that peace? It's often things that we're thinking about. It could be people that we speak with or interact with regularly, or it could be thoughts in our minds, or it could be an experience that we're actually going through right now, which could be our health, or it could be our workplace, it could be our direction in life, any of these things. So it's either an event or a thought, right? And what is this awareness that we can come to is that oftentimes it's not so much the things that are happening around us, but what's happening within us. So in our own minds, that takes us away from peace. And what often comes up in people's minds are things like worries. And worries, it's useful to think of worries as situations about which we don't really have a lot of control. So often when we're worried about something, we think, what if this happens or that happens or this person says this to me or this person acts this way to me? So this is a worry. And then we plan for it that, okay, if that happens, then I will do this. But that time has not even arrived and we're trying to almost plan for it to arrive. So then we can create a self-fulfilling prophecy too, right? So any worry, we could have worry about job, we could have worry about our finances, we could have worry about interactions with people, we could have worries about anything, we could have worry about health. And whatever we're thinking about the most is what we will be interacting with or experiencing most. So this is an important awareness to have because peace, it actually is part of our higher self. And when we are able to connect with our higher self, you might be able to do this through either prayer or meditation. But when we're actually connecting with that space, it's this peace that comes to the mind and body. And this is such a beautiful way to start any day, of course. So I strongly encourage it for everyone. When we look at healthcare providers, and we each are one, again, whether you've taken on the role professionally or whether you realize that you really do affect the people around you, and most of all, you affect your own peace with what kind of things you carry in your mind. So, of course, remember that once we carry something in our mind for some length of time, eventually we'll speak about it. And eventually, when we speak about it, both of these things are creating an emotion in us. And that emotion, especially if it's related to worry, is not so comfortable. So the next quotation I wanted to share with you is by Pema Chodron. And this quotation says, inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. Okay, so again, it says inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. So remember, this can happen when a person says something to us that feels like, oh, how am I supposed to interpret that? Or how should I respond to that? Or how is my mind thinking about that? And only if we take a moment to think that way, to process it, do we understand how we're feeling or why we're feeling what we're feeling. And if we don't do that, we just feel that, right? So we keep feeling that. We might keep repeating the conversation or the idea or the event or experience that we're having, and it's cluttering the mind, right? So if we are intent on maintaining this peace within our own system, which is already there, as soon as we remove the clutter of those other worries or thoughts or repetitions of conversations or fears, then we have our inner peace again. And this is such an important place for us to remember, because it's not only during meditation or during prayer, but that feeling of everything is okay is a wonderful place to try to stay in that peace throughout the day. And so finally, I thought I'd finish with one more quotation. And again, this links this up with worry, because worry is often that emotion, that feeling that doesn't feel so good, but somehow we feel like, okay, I know what I'd do if I did this, if we are having this worry. Yet worry kind of persists in the background of the mind, right? That, yeah, I hope this happens, or I hope this doesn't happen. And I kind of know what I'd do, but what if this happens? And again, the mind just has some something to play with in terms of, oh, I've got something else to be worried about. And if this happens, and then I could worry this way, right? And we're not consciously aware most of the time about how our mind has been trained to focus on things that we are worried or anxious or fearful about, but less trained to focus on what we're really happy about. And often, what we can be most peaceful about is what's happening right now, right here, without the worry that this is good, right? So, that sort of idea is a wonderful place that I'd love for you to get, because that pulls us into higher vibration energies. So when we are just satisfied with things as they are, things as is, then that's a wonderful place to be. Most people wait until they have something to look forward to. Oh, I know I'm going on a trip, or I know I'm speaking with this person, or I know I'm having a nice meal. Whatever it is that people are looking forward to, we've trained ourselves that when you're looking forward to something, then you can feel good. When something really great is happening right now, then you can feel good. But how about when we have worries? Can we still focus on what is good right here, right now? So, this last quotation that I wanted to finish with is, worry often gives a small thing a big shadow. Worry often gives a small thing a big shadow. And this is the thing, right? Because if we have this small worry that's kind of in the back of our mind, but it feels like this big concern, and it actually might be a big concern, but worry will not help that concern either, right? It's just the action of, this is what I need to do right here, right now. That takes away the worry part of it. So I hope that you reflect for 5 minutes after this video about what's on your mind the most. What is it that you might be worried about that's kind of in the background or right at the forefront? And just think about, this is how I'm handling it in this moment. I wish you a fantastic 5 minutes of reflecting on that. And I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.